Okay. Hello, everyone. Let me just grab my computer real quick, and then we will get going. Okay, happy Wednesday. Oh my goodness. It feels like there is so much going on that things are a little crazy as usual, but I've got some stuff to chat with you guys about. Let's see. Close that and open this again. Okay. Okay, hi Diane. Hello. All right, 1 second. Okay, hi Diane. Hello. I thought I muted that. There we go. That's a little bit more muted. Just meant I got to say hi to Diane twice. Okay. Okay, we're going to get started. I don't know how many people are going to join us today, but I do, as you can see, have a pile of things to show you that just came in. And as we kind of go through these things, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what kind of craziness is going on, because we haven't had a chance to really chat about that. And last week was sort of the first week of the big China tariff. And so I kind of want to give you guys an idea of what's going on. Hi, Trey. Hi, Shelly. So this is a pile of stuff that I was able to get shipped before, before the tariffs kicked in. But there's a lot of stuff going on right now with our industry. And so I'm going to kind of talk about that a little bit. Okay. But let's kind of get started, because I do have a box of new goodies. And that'll give a few people a chance to join us, and then I'll kind of get started. The other thing that I get to show you guys that I'm really excited about, you guys, is the June 1st release for 49 and Market and Sizzix. Let me go grab something real quick. Because I do have a sample of this. So I want to kind of go through this other set of dies. There's only 3 in the release from 49 and Market and Sizzix, but it is freaking phenomenal. And those of you guys that were at preview night, and then I think the demo day the next day, got to see the sneak peeks of it. That was back in April, but we couldn't show it until now. So I want to show that to you guys. I will get something out in an email, hopefully tonight, or maybe tomorrow morning, with more information. I don't know how much information I have, to be honest, but, anyway, okay. So, I made myself a pile here. This box literally just showed up. So, I am going to, nothing is checked in yet. It's all brand new stuff. And, so I'm going to show you guys the stuff, and then we'll probably have to get it checked in tomorrow when, when Brooklyn's here. But here's the thing, and we'll talk a little bit more about this, but, I kind of have indications as to which one of these things are made in China. And the made in China stuff is, a lot of it is dyes. Okay. Some of the other products are also made in China, but a lot of what we carry that's made in China is the dyes, because, there was a U.S. manufacturer, they closed, so there's no U.S. manufacturing option. And, so a lot of dyes are going to be, we're not going to be able to get them. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So as I go through, I will tell you the stuff that's made in China. And for the time being, unless the tariff thing changes, what I have in stock is, that is what I will have. Okay. So, until we can afford to get those shipped again. And it isn't just us. It's like all of the stores, right? So, it's been crazy, and, people are very concerned about the industry. So, but these things are cool. So those of you guys that are here live, you get first dibs on all the stuff I'm going to show you today. Those of you guys that watch the video and respond quickly, will also get first dibs. Okay. So, we got in a while ago, we got in one of these sentiment dies from Jamie Rogers. Now, the Creative Expressions mini expressions that we have carried for years have been a long time favorite. Now those, as we've talked about before, Creative Expressions closed at the end of January, just like that. So we bought up a whole bunch so that we'd have them, and they've been selling out. We've kind of sold out of a few right away. And then, as people are kind of purchasing them, what we have, we run out of, and then there's no more. But Jamie Rogers was a designer with Creative Expressions. Then I don't know if he saw the writing on the wall that none of us saw because he was in the thing, but he went and started his own company. And one of the things that he has are these sentiments. They are not the same as the mini expressions, but they're kind of similar in that same vein. So what it is we've got one die here that does pretty much the sentiment. So you only have to die cut this out once, which was one of the things that people absolutely loved about the mini expressions. Okay. But he takes it a step further and gives you a little die to go around it that you can use just one, or you can use them nesting. And these are pretty much designed so that you can mix and match those background dies. Okay. So the ones that just came in are Get Well Soon, With Sympathy, and Birthday Wishes. So if I turn these over, you'll notice, okay, that the outside pieces, I don't know, what do we call those? The not banners. I don't know. The landing spaces. I don't know what to call that, but whatever this outside shape is, they're kind of approximately the same size, which means you can put With Sympathy in this one. You can put Get Well Soon in this one, so that you can, once you have, a couple of these in your collection, you can mix and match the styles, which is fantastic, right? And these dies are only $7.99 a piece. So it is it's a really, really good price on some word dyes that mix and match. And they mix and match with the other one that we already got, which I think the other one was Happy Retirement, because in the mini expressions, that was the most popular one, the most requested, I should say, of all the ones we brought in, and then it sold out. So these are $7.99 and they are made in China. So what I have is what I have at the moment. Okay. And then we have, I'm excited about this one. So this one is a bicycle die, which is, it's $13.99. But what I really liked about this, you guys, is that most of the bicycle dies that I've seen over the past, it's all a bicycle, right? But in this one, you've got the spokes as one, so you could do these in like a silver chrome color. And then you can do this in like a shiny black to give it like that just, it's called tire shine. I don't know what else it's called, but like you just put that on your bicycle, right? But you can do the different parts in different colors. So you really can build something that dimensionally even looks like a bicycle, because the tires then can be behind that part of the frame and stuff like that. And so for $13.99, it's a pretty good bicycle die if you need one of those. Okay. And then these are in no rhyme or reason. So then we got back in a couple of these small sports stamps, just because as we go into the, the warmer weather, we have tennis, we have golf, and this one is usually kind of popular. The golf one is kind of popular around Father's Day, which is coming up. And then we have girls soccer. Okay, so those are the three that we have. These are only $4.50 a piece. So they're not, they're not overly expensive if you just need a stamp to do some golf or do some tennis or whatever. They're affordable. And I would probably, if it's me, I'd probably use my VersaFine Claire. But then you can do it in any color because they've got a number of colors now. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right. It really is kind of a random pile of stuff, but at any rate, it's stuff that I'm excited about. Okay, you guys, this one is $5.50. This little beauty right here, clouds, right? We all have clouds and stuff, but I have to tell you what struck my fancy with this one that is different from a lot of the others that are out there is the shape of the clouds. They look like they are sitting in the sky. So it's not just like a cotton ball, right? You've got these nice long patterns, but also you can mask them out if you don't want them, but you also have birds in there, which I think is super fun. So, I don't know if I was doing a whole cloud, sky, like that much cloud, that I'd put this bird up here. Looks like he probably couldn't breathe as well as this guy because he'd be so high. But, but what you have here is you really have a ton of fabulous cloud options. And that one is only $5.50 as well. Okay. Then this one, oh, I was so excited to see this one. This one's a little bit bigger of a stamp. This one comes from what they call the Grunge collection. So Studio Light does a whole different, a whole range of styles in their releases. They have the Grunge collection. This one is from Essentials. They also have one, and they might have more than this too, but they also have one called the Creative Craft Lab. And this one tends to be kind of like a little bit more of those kind of, animals and things like that, but kind of build your own type stuff. So the Essentials mask in the clouds. And so then in the Grunge collection, we have this ruler one. And I think this thing is so fabulous. So you can create a really cool background, or you mask it off and you just have a little bit of a ruler element when you go to stencil it. Okay. So that one is $7.50. And then, let me see what else we've got here. Oh, okay. This is kind of a random pile of things. Okay, so also in the grunge, line, okay? I don't know how I just managed to like run into this one, but this one is an 8x8 paper pad. So it is single-sided, which actually is nice, and it's a little thicker. What I'd say is a little thicker than like a thin paper, but not as thick as a cardstock. Okay, but this one is going to be really awesome to do like a base of something where you like to collage and build stuff, because you've got some really just fantastic usable patterns in here. Look how fun that is. That can be built on, and they're meant to be built on. So, you know, you don't even have to take, say, this whole one, right? You could just rip yourself a little bit of ruler, or say rip it this way, and you've got this strip of rulers. So cool, right? Oh my gosh. Does that remind you of Alice in Wonderland? Oh, that is so neat. I haven't looked through these either, because I only get to see this much when I buy it. So, really, really a great pad, actually. Very, very usable. 36 sheets in here, you guys, for $11.50. And part of the reason it's so well priced for so many sheets is they're single-sided. So, I think that one is a great one. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Now, I kind of got these on a whim, so I didn't get very many of them. But I thought, because, you know, we have a lot of people that like Alice in Wonderland, for example, or, you know, playing cards, or you have game night, or you have something like that. So sometimes I find these peel-off stickers that are just really unique. And the pictures that I see when I order them, I can't tell what they are. I mean, I can kind of see, but I think these are so cool, you guys. So we have them in both gold and silver, and I want you to just take a look. So if you are doing something about playing cards, if you're doing something with Alice in Wonderland, if you're doing something, you know, game night or whatever, these are going to be phenomenal. And for $2.99, you get a gob of them. Okay. So, oh, I always regret this when I go to pull this off, but I'm going to do it anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off and then look around for a die pick. So, this way people can actually, well, like, see how cool that is? The detail on peel-off stickers is phenomenal. So what I'm going to do for this one, because then we'll have a sample for people to see when they come in, is, I haven't done this in a long time, but I think this is, sometimes the thing with peel-off stickers is they are really, really great, but sometimes it's so hard to tell what they are, right? And sometimes, like, I order thinking they're going to be one thing and they're something completely different. So, but I think these ones are really fun. Okay. Now, can I get it back in there? What do you guys think? Maybe if I do it the right way. Okay. So I'm going to just put this little sticker right back in there. And then, oh, pretty good, Brooke. Pretty good. Now, it's a little bit easier to see what that shape will be. But I just think this is so cool. And it's really quite unique because, in all honesty, I've never seen this design in peel-off stickers before. So now I have just peel-off sticker little bits everywhere. Okay. And peel-off stickers, there's something that, like, once you learn how to use them and even really how to see what's in the packaging. They are so versatile. So okay, so that is the, gosh darn it, come on. Okay, so that is the silver and gold for the playing card peel-offs. But we did get a couple other peel-offs, and I think these ones only came in silver, okay? So this box was supposed to be here last week, and I do realize that Mother's Day is in just a couple days. It comes really fast in the month of May, but we have Happy Father's Day and we have Happy Mother's Day. So these, I don't believe, are peel-off stickers we've ever had before. So if you make cards for Mother's Day, or maybe you donate cards for those kind of things or whatever, these could be a really, really nice set to just have, because again, I don't know if we'll have them, again, but Father's Day is coming up as well. And what's great about peel-off stickers is that you can color them with your alcohol markers. So that's your Copics, your Sharpies, those kind of things. And you can actually change the color of the silver ones. So again, these are $2.99. Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day. Okay. And then we have, I'm hoping you guys can see this. This is like maybe the cutest little thing ever, right? Well, no, I can't say that. The cutest little thing ever was that teeny weeny mini postage collage die and stencil set that we showed last Friday. That, yes, was the cutest thing ever. But this one is pretty tiny. I like little tiny packages. So this one here, I'll turn it over so you can see a little bit better. But I thought for Father's Day, that was going to be a great one. If you just need to do something quick, and at only $3.99, it's a pretty good, grab on that one. And then this one. So, pet lovers, can I confess something to you guys? All right. For a long time, and I mean a long time, like pre-Oliver, I have wanted a cat stroller, and I finally got one. I got it put together, and I took Oliver out for a walk the other day. We only went like to the mail and back because it was very bumpy and I didn't want him to get overloaded or whatever. And I realized that this might have been the dorkiest thing that I have ever wanted to do in my life. And I was like, oh, well. So, but it is a little embarrassing to actually roll your cat around. I'm just saying. So, but I did it again yesterday, and now, and we went further, right? And then I brought him back home, and we came and stuff, and he loves it. As soon as I got that stroller put out and set up, he knew it was his. He has been in and out of that thing, jumping all over the place. But then this morning, we got up where, he sits in front of the stroller and meows at it. And I'm like, uh-oh, I might have just created a monster. So I think he's going to really enjoy it. So if you see us rolling around somewhere, you can feel free to pretend you do not know us, because I feel like I may have to take my cat for a walk now that I have, anywho. So that's my little embarrassing confession. But that being said, this set of stamps I thought was actually pretty great, because you can do some of those cool watercolor techniques because these are silhouette stamps. But we have these paws in like a bunch of different sizes, right? And you guys, you have a pair of them, which is really great. Usually you get one, or you get like a whole strip of them or something. So you can create whatever design you want, but you can also do some of those cool watercolor techniques with silhouette stamps that you really can only do with silhouette stamps. So, and you guys, this one's only $8.99. It's a really good price on it. All right. Next. Oh, I do have, look at this. I have more. So I did try to order a number of these things that I thought might be handy. Again, this one was supposed to come in like a week ago, but this one says Happy Mother's Day, which is almost not something we ever see on, like, we used to be able to get these kind of things just individually in red rubber, but once Impression Obsession closed, we don't have that many options anymore. So this was a pretty good small set, but it also says thank you for always being there, and you are so beautiful to me, and for the best mom ever. Okay, and at $6.50, it does have you covered for the stamps. Plus, if you have not made your Mother's Day cards yet, those are ready. Okay, now these next two are $5.99. I do not know what the price difference was on these, other than maybe you just got more stamps in this one, because they are the same size, but there was a bit of a price difference, so I don't know what it is. So in England, I believe they call this a blow ball. Yeah, but it makes a fabulous silhouette stamp. We had this in like a stencil, I think it was, and I had to reorder it a whole bunch of times. But I saw this one and I thought, oh my gosh, for inking backgrounds and just making like a gorgeous, you know, sentiment or a silhouette on there, and then you could just put in a sentiment, easy peasy. So that's the blow ball. And then this is the chicken feeder. That is not what it's called. It's just called chickens. But I actually really liked this because I know that there are a lot of you guys out there that have city chickens. I call them city chickens. You might even live in the more rural area, but city chickens are like all the rage right now, right? Everybody's getting chickens. I mean, by everybody, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people. And so I thought this one was really cool because you had all the different chickens. You had the little chicks, but you also had this, I don't know if it's a kid or a man, I can't really tell, but also with chicken food. So they're like feeding the chickens, which I just thought it was fun, and it was kind of a unique stamp. So that one's $5.99 too. Okay, and then this one. Okay. Now, I do not normally get the papers from the Creative Craft Lab because they're like, I don't know. But I have to tell you guys, this one, on all I saw was this, but I fell in love with it. And the two papers that made me get this are these two papers right here. So this one has 16, it says 16 designs, 3x8 double-sided sheets. So I think 24 sheets in here. And they are a paperweight. Yeah, because you get 3 of each. But you guys, is that not a fantastic black and white polka dot? Oh. And then you have a yellow checked gingham with red and black stripes. These are some basics that I get asked for a lot, but are very, very difficult to find. But this one, this ladybug dot paper right here, I think this is my favorite of all the ones in this pad because it is just so ladybug and it is so cute. So, but you guys, you have the bee stripe on the other side, the yellow and the black. And then you've got honeycomb with some cute little bees. I probably would use that side, but if you need some cute bee paper, it's right there. And then this is just like a bolder black and white dot with, you know, more bees on that side, and then a black and white striped. And I didn't really talk about this before, but one of the things that I love about stripes is when they do diagonal stripes like this, it means it makes the perfect photo mat. If I sort of block this off so that it doesn't hurt your eyeballs, because when you go to cut a little bit for your photo mat, you see all those stripes in all the directions. So a diagonal stripe is always going to grab my attention because it has all of the stripes going in the right direction so that you get them no matter how you use the paper. So, and then you've got a good honeycomb there with some more bees. And this is your kind of bolder ladybug thing. But look at the ladybugs. I mean, come on. So this paper pad, I don't know. it's cute, but it does have some really, really good basics in here that we just don't get. So those 3 stripes right here are fantastic. And these dots, even these dots are great, but those dots, so you get 24 sheets for $9.99. And this is it's not quite a 6x8, okay? It's 5.8 by 8.3. So it's a little bit skinnier and a little bit taller. But it's pretty close in that size. So you could definitely get A2 cards out of this. You might just have to trim things down a little bit. Okay. And then I think I've had this before, you guys, but I wanted, somehow there were 2 in my box, which means I must have ordered them. It is entirely likely. But these guys are, these are little pocket pads from Hunky Dory. And what it is, how many sheets are in here? Because I never can, 64 sheets. Okay. So you guys, that makes it basically 10 cents a sheet. I mean, but these are absolute stunning images. Okay. The artwork is gorgeous. And so all you have to do is pull one of these out. If you have a nesting die that fits on here, you could cut that to give it a little bit more, you know, maybe a stitched shape or something like that. But I mean, these are so fabulous and really easy to use to create striking cards or tags or any, you know, really anything you want, because the artwork is just right here. So, and they're single-sided and they're lightweight. So they're not going to add a lot of, thickness and dimension. Okay. So that's a lot of those things. Now, let's chat about the next thing I'm excited about. Okay. So, Arden Creative Studio is out of England, and we just got a shipment of some of their stuff. Okay. So let's talk about it first, and then I'll go back through and we can kind of re-go through the things that we need to go through here. So the stamps themselves, they're only $12.99. And oh, Meryl, that is good thinking too. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. That is right in line with Disney colors too. Yeah, great thinking. So these are made in the UK, and if you have had stamps before that are made in the UK, the clear stamps, they are really nice. Visible Images were made in the UK. They might still be. Visible Image has now moved to Arden Creative Studio. So this is the first time we've brought in some of this stuff. This particular release, this is the Katie Petit's Designs release. Okay. She was basically the designer for 49 Market for many, many years. And then they parted ways. And so that's why now some of the designs for 49 Market are looking a little bit different, because they have different designers. They have a couple different ones. So, but she then found a home with Arden Creative Studios, which is a relatively new company. Okay. And this particular company, so their first couple of releases from her, that I think in the show, they just debuted the second one, have been really well received. Okay. So we have, this one is called Fern Valley, and this is a layering clear stamp set. So what you have is you have your outline here, and then you have these 2 different pieces that you can layer in different colors as you stamp them, to give your fern that extra dimension. Now, you guys, this is similar to what we saw with 49 Market and Sizzix, like in that first release. Remember the mushrooms that a lot of us got? I think there were butterflies, something like that. So this is a similar concept, because Katie was with 49 Market when those designs came out. Okay. But here's what's great. These are a really nice size. And, oh, look at that. That little thing right there. And this one, this most likely is the layering coloring for the dragonfly, and that's the dragon body. And then you've got some splotches there. So really great value at $12.99. And then this one is called Ledger Wings 01, because maybe there's an 02 somewhere down the line. But you guys, again, for those of you guys doing collage, like where you build your collage, it's not that you have to be doing like paper layers and layers and layers, but when you do a background and then you want to add some stamped elements, some stenciled elements and things to give more layers, or like what we learned in the All in Create washi class that we did last fall, these are phenomenal. And so these ones are a little bit more open than some of the stamps we used in that class, because they're just remnants of a ledger. See that? Isn't that cool? I just think that is so neat. And then you've got these, the little butterflies and the dragonfly that are already landed on, you know, kind of on that spot. Easy to color, right? So easy. And then we have Artful Ledgers 01. So look at this. You have 3 stamps and then you have the single stamp, but you guys, you have even more little sections. This one, I'm in love with this. Now we talked about the lines with the Better Press, but just lines, just little scratchy lines. And one of the things when you're doing collage that can be tricky, they're starting to come out with stamps that help us with this, is if you take a stamp and you stamp it right down, you can see where the edges are, right? And it's so frustrating. So a lot of times with those stamps, you have to take them and hold them in your hand and do it like, you know, kind of a roll sort of a thing. So having like the lines where the edges don't even all the way finish, right? And they're not lined up, they're not anything like that, means that it's going to be so much easier to use this in places and have it just blend. Because if you use a whole square one and it's just like that, it's very hard to work that into the background if you want more elements. I mean, unless that square is part of your real design. But if you need it to be part of the background, then your eye gets drawn to those straight lines and it's harder to keep it kind of in the background. So this one is going to be a really fantastic one. Plus, I mean, these stamps, come on, you guys, those things are freaking adorable. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they are so cute. Okay, so that's Artful Ledgers 01. And then this one is Letterbox Remnants 01. And that's my sticky note because nothing's checked in, but they will be. Okay, but you guys, look at how clever this is. Okay, so you have the little corners, which will be awesome for our mini bookmakers because you just kind of stamp that in a corner and that corner is finished. It looks amazing. You have this little guy. You even have this box, which I love and did not know until the stamps just showed up that this isn't even attached to the box. So you can have the box with or without that really fabulous script. Oh my gosh. So I have to tell you, at the show, I ran into my friend Barry, who was at Creative Expressions. I've known him for a very, very long time. He lives in England. And I ran into him, right, as I figured I would, because now he has moved over to Arden and he has been really with them as they are growing this side of the paper crafting stuff. And he said, so how's the, you know, stuff doing for you? And I said, well, I forgot to bring it in. And he's like, what? And so, he's like, it has been so popular. People are loving this. Why did you not bring it in? And I was like, you know, cause it like comes, it goes, I forget, whatever. And so now I can see, now that it's here, geez, Brooke, why didn't you bring it in? So you guys couldn't see that, but I threw my hands up into my face and, so anyway, I think these are fabulous. They are so versatile. And I mean, what a great price, right? Okay. And then we were able to get one of the stencils in. There's more stencils, in the collection, and we'll get some more in, but I was only able to get one in this particular shipment, okay? So the letterbox collage stencil, these are $6.50, but you guys, I mean, look at those. They are fabulous, right? So you do a little spray with these, or maybe you get out your brushes and just do a little quick and some tone on tone, or, you know, whatever, but these are going to be so fun. And you have postmarks. I love it. And hey, scam likely. Okay. Sorry, guys. I guess the scam people don't know that I am live. So, pretty awesome. All right. These are all made in England. So this is a line that we can continue to carry. Okay. Now, I was only able, gosh darn it. Oh, that's my other, hold on. Hey, I'm live. Can I call you back?
Oh, okay. I'm catching the train up to Edmonds, so yeah.
Oh, do you need me to pick you up at the train station?
Yeah.
Okay, text me when you get there.
Okay.
And then just hang out. I'll be there.
All right.
Okay, bye. Okay. Well, guess who's going to be on the train to Edmonds? So anyways, this set of dies here is, again, you guys, I just have to show you because it's not expensive. It's $8.50, but look at this. It is the cutest little set of tags. And what I love is that you can have a little extra thing down here that's a tear off, or it can fold up and you just glue the little sides and it becomes a pocket. It is so cute. And then the other little tag can fit in there. Oh, I love that. And it's only $8.50. Now, I want to show you guys what came in that everybody is talking about. Okay. So I do have a couple of samples because these are like insanely cool. So these are the PET tape. Let me see. 16.4 feet, 5 meters. And they're 2 inches wide. Okay. So these are $7.50 a piece. This one is phenomenal. And this one. Okay. So I have samples of 2 of the 3. Now, you guys, this one, look at this design. Okay. So a while back, 49 Market had a washi paper, not this exact design, and it was a little bit wider, but it was like a white washi tape that you could put on the back, and it just gave you this really cool, like, black and white kind of thing. But just imagine how cool this design is going to be over an acetate window or over, like, a very, very cool background, and you see, like, all the color behind it. Okay, so it's going to be, like, if you put, I don't know, let me see if it'll work with this one. Hi, Lori. Let me find one that's, so let's say you're kind of making your backgrounds, right? So you could actually put this over, right over the paper, because it's also adhesive. It is going to stick down beautifully, but then you will have it over whatever you have that matches your design. Okay. So this one, let me see if I can. Yeah. So I just wanted to show you, see, it's a full sticker and it's adhesive on that whole side. So it's going to stick down beautifully. And this one is, are these all? Oh, this one is called Hidden Creek. And then this is called Vintage Makers Film. Oh, no, wait. This is called Vintage Makers Film Reel? Oh, no, wait. Those say the same thing. What is the name of... They're 2 different ones, though. Yeah, I don't know that they even put the name of what they are on... Okay, Hidden Creek is the name of the release. It's not the name of the tape. So one is a black and white one. And this one also has film strips, but different than this one. So this is one from the newest release. And this is a just continuous film strip, but it is this frosty, vintagey kind of cool. I don't know, man. It is just so cool. Okay. So there's that one. That's the film strip one. And then this one, it's a little bit harder for me to tell you guys. You know what? I'm going to open this because I think you really do need to see it. Okay. Because it is so cool. Okay. Now, look at that. Can you see? So this is a kiss cut image with these little like film strip kind of images right here. And then let's see if I can get this so I can show you. With the kiss cut, what it means, I don't know how much of this you guys can see, is that you've got a shaped sticker and it's in the shape of a film strip. Okay. I want to make sure I didn't accidentally put a hair in there or something. So that is, and I think this one has three different images. So this one here has a squirrel and a mushroom. You've got a bunny, and a butterfly. And then this one has a butterfly and a floral. I don't know if it's easier. Oh, it shows up pretty good in my hands, actually. So, that being said, this was actually easier to get open than I thought it would be. So those are the three. Now that we've kind of gone through things, I want to kind of talk to you guys about stuff. Okay. So, and then I have something else that I'm going to show you, but, so as pretty much everybody's aware of, the tariff situation is a real thing for, and it's a really big thing for our industry. Because I think it was either last fall or January or February or something, the only U.S. dye manufacturer closed. Okay, he didn't sell. He didn't do any, he didn't try to find somebody to take it over. He just closed. And so what that meant that Lawn Fawn, who had their dyes done in the U.S. for as long as they've been open, had to go find an alternative source, as did, a lot of other companies that were made in the U.S. dyes. So made in the U.S. dyes are just not a thing anymore unless they have stock already. So with the tariffs, and honestly, I think at this point, the tariffs are 125%. Although at some point I heard 140. So, but I think they're 125%, give or take, on all China imported goods. So what that means is this item right here, okay, because it's made in China, its price is $7.50. But now with the tariffs, because of the additional cost, now granted it would be on the cost that I pay, but because of that, that more than doubles the price. So the price I pay to bring this in for you guys is more than $7.50. So there's been kind of a rush to try to get some stuff in. But this is going to be kind of the situation until, somebody flinches on China stuff. We don't have any idea how this is going to be affecting things. Most of our manufacturers have things planned out for the next couple of months. They knew this was coming. They ordered ahead. They've got their stock. Okay. But in a couple months, if this doesn't, change, then the industry as a whole, because nobody else, from what I understand, makes dyes. It's a messy process. And, I think, so what this is, these dyes here, this one is painted black, but these are called chemically etched dyes. I don't know how the whole process is, but usually they're, you know, like silver, like metal color. But chemically etched means they use a pretty strong chemical to get the shape of the die. That's why sometimes, every once in a while, when you get a die, there's a little divot in the blade. And it just has to do with the manufacturing process and whatnot. But because they can only be done in China, the prices on things would more than double going forward. So with that, that's what I want to tell you. I just want to be, yeah, I don't know, Diane, but it's, possible. It's possible. So, so I better find us some good, fussy cut scissors, which is funny that you say that because I just ordered something that I think might be good for us to go into that. So I just wanted to talk about that because, for example, these guys I got in and I was able to get them ordered in under the deadline. These are made in China. So when they're out, we won't be getting any more because at $7.50, they're a great price for 5 meters. But at $16.99, it's kind of ridiculous, right? So, so the PET tapes are one of those that, is, you know, this is it until the tariffs change. This little tag die is made in China. So this one is on that list also. The stencils and the stamps from Arden are made in the UK. So these ones, we can get these in and stock these. So these ones, you know, while they are fabulous and a little harder to get our hands on because they're so popular, we'll be able to get more of those. But I did kind of make a pile here, and most of the stuff in this shipment is made in China. So, and our manufacturers, they are working to find alternate solutions. Some of them are already, you know, already doing things. They already had things in the works and such. But like Studio Light, this paper pad from Studio Light, pretty much I think all the Studio Light is made in China. So this one is, when it's out, it's out. This one I don't know about because, you know, in all honesty, it doesn't say where it's made. Okay. So it very well could be that stamps might be something that we can get later. However, the Studio Light ones, those are made in China. So I'm just kind of putting these out there, so that you guys know, to grab stuff if you want it. Okay. So the masks, this one is the 751 Studio Light, and the clouds, that one was $5.50, and the bicycle die, right? Because the dies are all made in China, $13.99. And that also means the Jamie Rogers sentiments. I know, it's a bummer. Get well soon, birthday wishes, and with sympathy. These are all made in China. Okay. So these are all $7.99, and probably we won't be able to get more in realistically. These ones aren't listed. Nope. This one is made in China. So this one is $3.99. This is the little fishing boat, and as are these. Okay. So the girls soccer, $4.50, the tennis, and the I'm just kind of telling you guys, oh, Paper Rose, I can give you the update on that because I've already talked to Paper Rose. So, I'm giving you guys kind of the update and the rundown just so that you are aware as we're going along that, some of these things we won't be able to reorder at least until something changes. Okay. I think Hunky Dory is made in England, but I am not 100% sure. So that's going in my I don't know pile. And then this paper here, this one is definitely made in China. This one is $9.99, and this one is also good for Disney. But peel off stickers, you guys. These are made in Holland, so we should be okay on those. And I just want you to know that all of us in the industry, us as stores, the manufacturers, everybody is working so hard to try and get this figured out. Like, how can we make this? And our manufacturers they're working really hard, and a lot of them are taking big hits so that they don't raise the prices for the consumer. But that means then that as crafters, you know, in the industry, if you have, you know, either a local store like ours that you want to support, make sure you do so. If you have a manufacturer that you want to support, make sure you do so. Don't buy knockoffs, because that is just a killer for this industry. It's one of the reasons that this is all happening. Not the only reason, but one of them. And, but you know, certain companies like Amazon and those other big, you know, kind of things, they don't need, because they can absorb it, right? They have room to absorb it. But so that's just kind of a heads up, because I wanted you guys to know sort of what I know. Now, Paper Rose, okay? So Paper Rose, all of their papers and ephemera, things like that, are made in, they're made in Australia. So those are not going to be a problem. We will be able to continue to get those. And Kelly, I know that you had wanted some of the birthday line. I don't know if you sent me a list for it or not, but so those are okay. And I talked to them about their dyes. Their dyes are also made in China, because, you know, that's where all the manufacturing is. But for now, they're working with the stores so that we can still continue to stock them. So if there's dyes or something that you want from Paper Rose, let me know way sooner than later, because I don't know if that's going to change. Because if it ends up costing them, you know, too much to cover whatever those import things are, then we won't be able to carry those either. So, okay, enough about that. Okay, sounds good, Kelly. Probably maybe in the next, I don't know, couple days, I'll sit down to do that one, because I've got some other stuff I need to get ordered. Okay, so this is one of the things that I was so excited about at the show, okay? So I will send out an email about this, but this is the June 1st launch for 49 and Market with Sizzix. And you guys, this is revolutionary technology, okay? So there's only 3 sets. There is a tag, a file folder mini album kind of a thing, and then there is a pocket. So I want to move some of this off to the side, and let's start with the tag first, okay? So sorry about that. These tags in this packet, this is a large packet of dies. I'm not going to lie. It's a big packet. And what I have here, this is prototype. So I don't have any of the packaging. But the packaging, I'll send that out with the email that I send out. So if you were at preview night, you saw this. And it is really exciting. So what we have here in the tag set is we have a large tag, and then we have a smaller tag. And the smaller tag is designed so that it can be its own tag, or it can be like a matted tag, okay? So, but let me show you how amazing this is. Let me get a piece of paper here, because I think you can see this better if I do this like so. Okay, so the magic of these dies is this little connection right here, okay? So that little connection, and I don't have the packaging. I think it's like a snap and something or another. There are little pieces that mix and match like a puzzle. So, like, do you remember when you had paper dolls and you could sort of mix and match the pieces? So what we're going to have is we are going to have an end that will fit this tag, okay? And then we'll have another one, and this is a ripped paper one, okay? And I'll show you. And then we also have a zigzag, okay? So what you're going to do is these little tiny tabs are going to lock right into place, literally just like a puzzle, okay? And then you will run that through your die cut and you will get a perfect tag shape. Now, if I want to shake this up, I take this off and now I can do a tag with a deckled edge because I can do this one. But you guys, this is where this gets really fun because not all of them are like this, but some of them are. See how it has a double end? Well, you've got the decal die and it's straight, but it's kind of all over the place. So if I turn this around, I now have a slightly different length tag, but also I have a slightly different decal because it's the other way, right? Oh, amazing. Okay. But what also happens is we have the other pattern in the smaller size. So this one matches the smaller tag. Okay. So when I cut this one and then layer it on this one, I'm going to have a perfect mat. Yeah, it's so cool. So the tag comes with 2 different tag sizes, and each tag size has 3 different inserts. Okay. All right. So that's the tag. Now, that being said, let me just show you guys this. It is so cool. Yeah. And you guys, it's really been a long time since there's been something in the industry that has been, you know, new and interesting, right? So we've got these little pieces right here in 2 different sizes. This is the piece that will die cut and fold over the top. We have photo corners, which I love these kind of things. They're so fun. So you just wrap them around the back of the die cut, tape them together, and they slip on your papers and things. And then this one here, this is a shape that you can do a lot of different things with this, and I haven't played with this one yet, but see these little fold lines right in here? So it gives you one fold line, but it also gives you a second one, which is actually, in all honesty, quite hard to fold those 2 separately. But when you do kind of fold it, you can roll it in your fingers or whatever. It will give you just a little bit more thickness in your fold. And what you can do is you can add these to various things as like edges. So what I could do is I could take this guy right here and die cut it. Okay. I could stick it onto my tag. And then when it folds over here, the shape that I'm going to have sticking out is like a flattened, oh, what was that? The $5,000 pyramid, something like that, right? So it'll be like a little tab or a pull tag that is in that shape. Okay. And then we also have a couple different shapes here that will go around the hole in the tag. Okay. So let me put these guys away for 1 second here. And then I'll show you the next one. Okay. All right. So the next one is just got rid of this guy. This one is a really cool one too. So this one is like a mini file folder, but it can also be like a book page. Okay. And it again has those ends on it. Okay. Now look at how many options we have. So this one again is 2-sided. So it can actually go in or it can go out. Okay, I'm just going to kind of line these up so you can see how many are in here, because this is one of the things that I'm really digging about this set, because you have so many file tab placements. Okay. Hopefully you guys can still see this. And let me unhook that one and hook in this one. Okay. So look at that. You have actually 5 different tabs. So if you make a mini album or something and you want to put like tabbed pages or dividers or things like that, you can do that. And in such a small space, I say small, but it's like probably just a little under 6 inches would be my guess, wide. I don't have a ruler here. But you can do 5 different tabs. That is phenomenal. But here's what else is cool. It comes with a plain one, okay? And if you do a plain one, right, now you can just do just a little folder, a tuck in, or you can do book pages, whatever. But here's what else is so cool. These, my friends, are mix and match. So what that means is I take the tag from the other set, and this will match because it's the same width. So this is the wide tag, and the file folder are the same width. So they will mix and match so that we now can use all of the tabbed inserts with the tag or the file folder, and we can use this guy and put in the zigzag or the other one. Okay, that's a good question, Diane. I had a very last minute Zoom call with Sizzix yesterday, and the May and June releases from Sizzix are going to remain. Okay, so these ones are $39.99 a piece, and which, in all honesty, you guys, is a really, really phenomenal price for what they can do. I'm like over the moon. The inner engineer in me is so crazy about these. Now, let me just put these ones away so that I'm trying to not get things mixed up. At some point here, I think I'll put them on a magnetic sheet. But, okay, so I want to show you what else comes in with the file folder. Okay, so what we have here is we have like a stitched square here, and we have an insert. Okay, we also have this little tiny piece that cuts out a frame, and it cuts out another insert that is nestable kind of with that. So let me just put these all here so you can sort of see the size. Okay, and then we have, look at this. I love these. These are tab labels. What? Yes, they are. And then we have some little tiny hearts, and then we have a couple other sized hearts. Okay. So there's that one. Now I'm going to show you this last one. This one is, I've already lost it. Make sure I don't lose that tag. Okay. So there's only 3, and each one of these is $39.99. But let's talk about this one. So this, my friends, this is a pocket. Okay. So based on the way that these score lines work, you can make a flat pocket or you can make a 3D pocket. And I do have some samples to show you here in just a minute. But again, this has that really cool technology. But also what we have is this piece. Now this piece here is phenomenal because this piece will create either the decorative matting on the front, or it will create tuck-ins for the pocket. So if we put this on here like this, it'll create a little matted front. So what we have, are you guys as excited about this as, I will show you, next up, Meryl, we'll talk about that. It's not going to be, no. They don't have a cutting edge on each side. I see your question. They're still just like regular dies. So they are flat on the back side and they have dies on the front side. What I meant was reversible is this part right here, the little part that attaches. So what I can do is I can take and cut my pocket just like so, okay? And this part that sticks up, it's not going to cut anything, so it's fine. So my pocket is going to be cut like this with a little dip that goes in. But then what I also have is I also have this piece. Now, if I want to make a matted piece for the front of my pocket, I will take this and I will, hold on, it's easier to not do this in the air, but that's my coordinating slightly smaller piece, okay? And so I will die cut that in a separate one, and that'll be my perfectly matted, decorative sheet, okay? But here's the cool thing. If I cut this turned around, let's see if I can, really, why? I got like the smallest piece of scratch paper. It was the only one within reaching distance. Well, nope, here's a red one, but I don't think that's going to give us much more space. Anyways, okay, you guys just have to bear with me. Okay, so if I put this and cut it like this, now what I have is I have an insert, okay? So you can do these any way you want. You don't even have to use them like I'm telling you, but this is like a cool thing that you can do, right? So with this flipped down, it becomes the mat for the front of my pocket. With it flipped up, now I have a really cool insert that mimics whatever design is in the front of my pocket, okay? So let me show you a different one because these are just so cool. So I can make a pocket that has this sort of soft curve. And then I could make my pocket mat have that curve to be, that insert. But then I can do it that way so that it'll be the perfect matting, right? Decorative piece for the front of my pocket. And then I can cut all my inserts with it going up like that. Oh, funny. It looks a little like a slice of bread. But now when I tuck it in, it's going to have the exact opposite shape of whatever I cut into the pocket. And so it just gives it this unique characteristic that ties the thing together, the pocket and the inserts, without it being matchy-matchy, but definitely makes it look like a set. And this has not really been something we've been able to accomplish before. Okay, so then we also have, I think, is this the big one? Yeah. We also have this guy, and we can do the pocket insert like so. Nope, the pocket matting. Sorry, you guys. I don't have all my terms down, but I will one of these days. Or we can do the insert like that. Okay, so, and we do have, just in case you want them, there are also flat ones. Okay, so crazy loving this. Now I can show you guys when we did the sneak peek, not the sneak peek, but when I showed you guys the Rust and Revs collection that was here, I showed you this little album, and I think maybe, I don't know if Crystal is on with us at the moment, but I feel like it might have been Crystal who asked me about the tag things. And I said, I'll talk about it later because I couldn't talk about it then. Okay. So now we're going to go back to this little book. And now that you guys know what the basis is for this, it is so much cooler. Okay. So we have this one I glued on backwards, so you just have to bear with me. This is our tag, right? And our deckled edge. This one is also the tag with the deckled edge, but we've got in our photo corners. And you'll also notice up at the top here, this little fold over part, that was one of those inserts that came with the tag, as did the photo corners, okay? This one is the tag die with one of the tabs cut into it for like, from the file folder one. And this is the flat pocket with the matting that you can see. Okay. But wait. So this one, just the tag with the tapped pieces on it. And this particular one, what's holding this down, those are the rub-ons from Rust and Rev. I mean, they look so, so dramatic, right? Okay. And then this guy, again, it's the tag with a different tab. This is one of the rectangle pieces. Yeah, this is the rectangle piece that was in with the file folder. Okay, so you can just kind of get an idea of how big that is in comparison to the tag. And then this is it cut with decorative paper, with the these were all pre-cut for us, so you guys, that's why there is an enormous variety in this little project right here, and that has to do with, you know, they had to cut like 100 of them. So then you guys, this is the 3-dimensional tag, or the 3-dimensional pocket. And so you'll notice the other one had the little circle dip. This one has this guy right here. And I think since then, oh, this is my insert for this, which happens to just be casually lying around. So it goes like that. But I do need, because this is dimensional, I need a few more things in here for these guys to stay put. If this were a mini album, it's not as big of a deal because things aren't going to go flying. But as a tag album where I have to flip it over, they just all fall out. So, but you guys, I mean, amazing, right? Are you guys as excited about this as I am? I hope so, because it's like, it is so exciting to have new technology. Now, what I want to talk about is to be successful with these dies, okay? What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, let me see here. I'm just looking to see if I have actually a, yeah. Okay. So what you're going to want is you're going to want a plate, a cutting pad. This is for your Big Shot. You're going to want a cutting pad that you have not cut into, okay? And then, and this one is going to be one that you just reserve for these. You don't have to do it this way, but I think this is going to be the very best option. I'm looking to see if I have any sticky grid open, because that would make my life so much easier. But then again, where would it be? No idea, because I don't organize things around here. Okay. So the original use, you guys, of the sticky grid was this exact design. And I think what happened is, I think I sold my last in-stock sticky grid over the weekend, because I know it was here and now it might have been our last one. So, but I will get more ordered because it's going to be critical to the success of these. But if you have the big sticky grids that go with the Stamp and Stencil tool, these will work as well. But the original sticky grid is sized specifically for cutting pad size, okay? So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to open this guy up, and I am going to just show you. Okay. So personally, I would probably just get the regular size. Okay, side note, you guys. I found these antique scissors are enormous. And I am so excited. They just ended up on my table, which meant somebody was cleaning and he found them. And so we're going to try them. Because I don't know if they're going to cut, but, we're going to totally try it. So I'm going to just cut this one right down this middle line and we're going to see. These are ridiculous. But, you know, what's life if you can't laugh at it, right? Okay. Well, they cut pretty well, though. I mean, they're heavy, but okay. So this is the standard size of a sticky grid. What we're going to do then is we're going to take this. And if you haven't worked with sticky grid before, this stuff is amazing. So if you have the Stampin' Stencil platform, you need it. But if you have the MISTI or something like that and you want to put it into the bottom of the MISTI to hold stuff, it will work great. So what it is it's like a giant double-sided Post-it note. Okay? So let me grab, yep, that one, and let me grab, which one have we not cut yet? Let's cut, well, it doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm even stressing about it. It doesn't matter. Okay, and then we'll just do the zigzag. I'm probably not even going to really run this through, but I am going to show you guys. So with this set, what you want to do is you want to get a brand new cutting pad and you want to have the sticky grid. Okay, so the sticky grid, it's not like insanely sticky, but it is nice. So save these because you can kind of put that back on. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it so that the flat side is down. And this is really great too if you need to line up letters and have them cut straight. That was what it was originally designed to help with. Like if I had, you know, Tim Holtz alphabets that come with like 100 letters and I want to line them up so that I can cut something straight into a design. They were designed to be able to line up and hold so that you can get them right where you want them. Now I'm going to take this guy and put it just like so. Now, if you do a lot of cutting with your die cutting machine and you find that your plates are bowing, if you've noticed, if you keep one plate that's your top plate that you don't cut into and one that's your bottom plate that you cut into all the time, you'll notice that the one that you cut into is the one that bends mostly, okay? This one tends to stay relatively flat. But in order for, so this kind of goes back to your question, Meryl. In order for these to stay perfectly flat and not get damaged, see the little puzzle pieces right here? This is how you want to cut it. And then you would find a piece of paper that actually fits over this tag, right? And then you would put it down. Pretend this is bigger. I don't know. But anyways, you would set the paper on here, okay? And then you would get the other plate, which I don't have another plate in front of me. And you'd put it on, and that's your sandwich. So normally, depending on how you do it, some people put their dies like this and put the paper on top and roll it through. Normally, I put my plate, my paper, my die face down, and the top plate and roll it through. So for me, this is backwards, but it opens up the possibilities because of a couple things. I can cut this, right? And I can cut a gazillion of this tag just like this because it's not going to move. And I also know, because I have a flat plate and the sticky grid, that these little connections, they're safe. But the other thing, you guys, is if I wanted to hey, I'm done in just a couple minutes. I'm just wrapping up. Okay? Yeah. Okay, I'm just talking about the Sizzix stuff. I'll be there in a few. Okay. No, I'll just be there. Just give me 10 minutes. Bye. Okay, because I'm almost done, you guys. But what else is really cool is that, see, then he throws me all off, right? Okay. Let's say that, come on. This is just the first thing I can get my hands on. Okay, let's just say within this tag, I want to cut just a little tiny heart peek through in this, in my tag. Okay. So, you know what, you guys, I'm going to cut it. That's it. I got to cut it. Right? We knew that was coming, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. So let me just do this, and then you guys will be able to see. Oh, I think that one will work. I think you'll be able to see what I am talking about with how this runs through. So I'll just take this piece of paper and put it on top, and then it doesn't really, I don't have to grab, like, because I have a paper that covers the whole thing, I don't necessarily have to grab a super clean plate. Okay, so I can just use my regular cutting plate. However, if my paper does not cover that whole sticky grid, I would definitely want to use a plate that's clean so that I didn't get extra paper bits on my sticky grid and make it dirty. I really wasn't anticipating cutting, so I have found myself to be not as prepared. Okay, here we go. All right, so, oh my goodness, and I did this left-handed. Wait a minute. And then we're gonna wrap up, because I've told you, I think all the stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. Then the only thing here, I said this would be, you could cut a whole bunch of them. But now that I say that, you could cut a whole bunch of them, but you got to figure out how to get it off of the sticky grid. So just, that'll work. Okay. Because the pressure is going to put it down just a little bit. And then, you guys, though, we have our perfect tag. And look, I have a little heart cut out of it, which is cute. That just comes from doing that. But you can cut this over and over, and now I can change this. But because of having the sticky grid, I don't have to worry about my dies jumping on a slightly bent plate and bending that little tab. Okay, so I will be sending out some information, because we're going to want to get these pre-ordered for sure, because right now there's no price increase. But if they sell out of all their stock, right, and then they have to order more, then we're looking at something totally different. I don't know what the deal will be then, but but for this first round, they are $39.99 for each one. And I'm going to try and see what I can figure out so that we can get, those of you guys that need it, a bundle of new plates and sticky grid so that you have that to work with too, because that's, I think, going to be pretty important for this set. Okay, you guys, so as you heard, I have to run because somebody is down at the train station waiting for me to come pick them up. But all of the stuff that I showed earlier will be checked in tomorrow. So if there's anything that you want, definitely let me know, because most of that stuff in the pile earlier was, here now, and I probably won't be able to get it for a while, if ever. Then look for an email about these guys, because this is going to be amazing. Okay. So have a wonderful, Wednesday? Have a wonderful Wednesday night, and we will talk to you guys all soon. Bye.